Hey guys, this is your spiritual guidance from Nana. How are you guys doing today? I've already pulled the initial cards, guys. I've prayed over the message. This is a collective message. Anybody who felt drawn here, you'll hear people say that, was because you're meant to be here. Something in this message is going to be relatable, all right? It's going to confirm to you something that you need a confirmation on. The three cards that we're going to start off with here is to do with your energy right now, where you possibly are at or where you need to be, you know? And then this is your challenge position. A lot of people call it an obstacle. I call it a challenge. We're also going to be using my eagle feather today. Yes, some of you might be drawn to eagles. You see a lot of eagles on signs, pictures, in the air, in the fields. And you need to look up the spiritual meaning of an eagle, okay? I mean, of a hawk. Sorry, this is not an eagle feather, it's a hawk feather. But that was an honest mistake, but you could be drawn to eagles or hawks, okay? So, look that up, guys. Imagine came out, co-create, and why? Imagine. When I was praying and meditating about this, guys, what I was feeling was you're someone who imagines what something could be like. You know, imagination is a powerful, powerful tool. Because if you can combine that with spending time with your spiritual team and actually you will get downloads from Spirit in your mind, in your spirit, but He can also ignite your imagination so that you can see the picture. Okay? A lot of us know what imagination is. And you have dreams and aspirations within your mind that haven't come to pass yet. Okay? And I wanted to be here to let you know, don't let go, hold on. Dreams take time. Also, when you're going towards something and you're in your north node, you're following the divine as best as you know how, there will be opposition coming your way. There will be people who will try to stop you. You know, they're lower vibrational or they belong to the enemy, and they'll come into your life, or circumstances will come into your life that will try to discourage you, to try to make you give up. You know? Pretty soon I'm going to be doing a video on spiritual warfare, guys, because a lot of you don't realize that there's some heavy-duty spiritual warfare going on. A lot of you don't know what that means. And so I will, and a lot of you do, who are tuning on here. You know what spiritual warfare is. You know that there is a specific dark side and a specific light side. Okay? Now, you might not know the origin of that. According to the Bible, according to Christian beliefs. And I wanted to give you a heads up on that. I wanted to show you and tell you how it originated and what the sole purpose of all of this is about, you know? But that's not today's message. Today is about imagination, co-creating, and why. So you've got a dream, you've got a vision within your mind's eye, within your spirit, man. And the reason why you know that it's a part of you is because it never goes away. It's like your arm or your hand, or you know what I mean saying? It's always with you. That's a sure sign, okay, that you are meant to go towards that area. And what does that mean? Okay, we're just going to do an example. Say you want to be a veterinarian. You dream of working with animals, with healing animals, with connecting with animals. And so you see it in your mind's eye, you see it in your spirit, and it keeps staying there. So you have a love for that. So let's take some steps towards that. Let's pray about it. Let's meditate about it and say, God, I'm going to start taking steps towards this. Open up the doors for me, for people and circumstances to come into my life to help me towards that. Then you take the steps. You pray for wisdom from your divine team and you take the steps. Some of it might be applying to a college. Once you get your basics out of the way, you can basically do veterinarian school online, I believe, until you get to the clinicals, of course. But I think that's what you can do. You'd have to research that. But that's just an example. Say you want to be a painter, all right? And as a hobby, you have thought about getting canvases, paintbrushes, paints, and you've thought about doing it, but you just haven't done it. Take the initial steps. Co-create with your divine team. See, because most of the time, the imagination, the dreams, the visions that you're seeing in your mind is given from your divine team. All right? Your Father has downloaded dreams and visions within you. You were born and created to go after a certain purpose, a certain task. Many of you, sometimes it's not just one thing, all right? There's missions in every little stage that we go through. There's tests in every little stage we go through. There's challenges within ourselves, with people around us, sometimes even environment. But no weapon formed against you will prosper. What does that mean? It means that you can get hit from every side. The enemy could try to stop you from moving forward by trying to put some blocks in your way, but it's not going to stop you. You were divinely chosen to go towards that destination. You might have a little bit of detours that the enemy tries to bring up, or that you did on yourself, choices that you made that put you on a little bit of a different path, or you went down the wrong fork in the road, so to speak. But the Holy Spirit and your divine team are always going to navigate you back to where you need to be. All right? Why came up. And it's not like, why did this happen? Why did this not happen? This why is, what is your why am I doing this? Behind your vision. Behind your dream. All right? Is it so you could have more of a comfortable lifestyle and that's okay? Is it because you want to, like me, inspire and encourage others, so you want to use your giftings for that in some format? Some of you are talkers like me, and maybe you need to start your own channel or a podcast, or do speaking engagements even. Some of you guys are singers. We've talked about this before. And you haven't done a small venue yet. Some of you are singer-songwriters, and maybe you're a songwriter but not a singer. But maybe you need to get your songs out there, demos, so that people can listen to it. And I'm telling you, there are a lot of country singers, or a lot of singers, period, who don't know how to songwrite. And they need that. They know how to sing, but they don't know how to write the songs. Maybe you're somebody who has a passion for that. I see a guitar in my mind right now. I don't know if you play the guitar or you want to play the guitar, so what do? You pray about it, you give it over to the divine, and you go get a guitar. And it doesn't have to be a brand new one. It could be one from, that's used. Or one that you can put on consignment, rent, for a while until you can afford your own. But start somewhere. Take a step towards what you think is going to be fulfilling in what you see in your imagination. Okay? In what you see in your imagination. Okay? The why is why are you doing it? If you can put a why to those things that you see in your mind's eye, why do I want to do that? Is it to make more money? Is it to, so that my security is a little more stable in my finances? That's okay. Is it to showcase my gifts more? Because when you go towards what you're passionate about, okay, listen to me. When you go to what you're passionate about, you don't have to kick your ass out of bed every morning and say, it's time to go to work. Oh, God, are you serious? No, you bounce out of bed. Okay, let's go. And it's something that you could work for hours on. And you lose track of time. Now, maybe some of you have got a regular job, but you know what that passion is, and you need to work on the side a little bit with it. Carve out some of your time for it. Whether that's writing a book, journaling, blogging, like I said, painting, carving out that time, finding your space, finding your niche. Your niche is usually something, like I said, that you gravitate towards, that you like, that you really like and possibly love. All right? You could be, drawn to animals, to dogs, to horses, to, I just saw whales. I don't know why. But you're passionate about something. Go towards that. Go towards your North Star. You're going to be co-creating with the divine. You're going to have the wisdom. There's an owl here. Oops. See the owl right there? There's also a cheetah here. So, a cheetah, the cheetah is very, very fast, number one. Number two, they're just beautiful creatures and they're agile, and they know what they want, then they go after it. Very focused. Once they see something they want, they get their eyes on an antelope or something that they need to feed themselves and their family. They're focused. All right? Figure out the why behind what you see. And I'll tell you something. If it involves helping anyone else out, or teaching someone, or inspiring, encouraging, lifting up, raising a vibration in any way, I'm telling you, for others, of course, you're going to find that you're going to rise in that area. It might be slow going at first, and you're going to have ebbs and flows in it, okay? I just want to put that out there, okay? It's not going to be all butterflies and rainbows just because you've chosen this. A lot of times when we start heading towards our North Node, in other words, we start heading towards the purpose of God within our lives, we start to realize more of who we are, that we're divine beings having an earthly experience. that we were built and chosen, okay, to reach out to others and bring the light to them. Once you realize that that is your task, your mission will be around your giftings and what you have seen in your mind's eye. Now, some of you haven't seen anything yet. You will. All right? If you're watching this and you're going, well, I haven't seen anything in my imagination about, my purpose or my life, or I think if you learn the basics of just meditating, sitting still, breathing, listening to your breath, okay? Letting your mind go. Don't let the mind, your thoughts drown you out, okay? Breathing. You could have some slow music in the background, or you could have waterfalls or whatever makes you peaceful. Then a lot of times when we think and we have these imaginations, a lot of times if you really look, feel it, in other words, you can tell that a lot of that originates just behind our eyes, in between our ears, is where it's coming from. It's a certain part of the brain. But if you literally lift that and put it behind that while you're breathing, while you're listening, and just letting go of the thoughts and being still with your divine team, you will find that this imagination, these things that you thought were not there, are going to rise up for you. Because I guarantee you, everyone has had something that they loved when they were a little kid, or thought they could be when they were a little kid, but they life comes in and things come in and it takes us off our path. Like I said, that fork in the road, but God is going to bring you back to where you're supposed to be, whatever that is for you. And for those that, subjective, oh, this is so listen, we would not have Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, anime, we wouldn't have any of the Disney shows we've seen, we wouldn't have elevators, we wouldn't have cars, airplanes, you name it, candles, you name it, everything we touch almost came from someone's imagination. All right, knives. Can you imagine what it'd be like without knives? Can you imagine cutting some meat or a steak without knives? I mean, I'm just saying, guys, everything has been birthed from somewhere. All right? What have you got in your challenge? You've got chaos and conflict. Remember, we talked about this. When you start moving towards your dreams, your aspirations, what your north node is, what your mission is, you will have chaos and conflict, because apparently you're supposed to touch someone's life. You, or many people's lives. You are meant to touch many lives. You're meant to touch, even if it's one life. But I'm telling you, the enemy of your spirit, the enemy of your soul, Satan and all his demons, okay, would not be messing with you if you weren't meant to touch or change something. Whether it's in yourself, your family, your community, your nation, it doesn't matter. If you are here and you're still with me and you're watching this, you are chosen. That's why there's been so much chaos and conflict along the way, is to stop you from going the direction you're in. He wouldn't mess with you if you were going the other direction. Not towards your dreams, not towards the divine, not towards meditating, getting closer, not mixing with a community that believes like you do with faith. A good example is my daughter invited a good friend of mine to a meeting that they went to. And it was the first time that they had went. And it's a real, honest community from what I've heard. And they went, and when they left there, their truck broke down. Hello? Apparently the enemy didn't want them to hear or see or even get touched by whatever was going on in that meeting. Because, all that joy and peace that they had when they left the meeting. Oh, let's make their truck break down so they can, oh man. And maybe not go back. I'm just saying, guys, every time something comes in like that, out of the blue like that, and out of that, is to stop you. Okay? Now, sometimes when we get into trouble or we get into conflicts or we get into chaos, sometimes it could be because of our choices. I can't tell you, I'll tell you stories in my life, but this is not what this is about. But when I've made choices that, a fork in the road, and I made choices to go the other way, when my spirit was telling me to go this way, yeah, there was conflict. There was chaos. Because I chose to go down the wrong way. I also get a sense, too, with this, that somebody is trying to change who you are. Somebody doesn't like who you are or your giftings or where you're at or which direction you're going in. Tough. Tough. If you truly believe within yourself that that's the direction you need to go in, that's who you are. All right? And some of you are having chaos and conflict because you're masking who you are. See, if you look at this closely, it's a kind of like a horse that has brown, almost like a giraffe color, But then the chips are falling away and it's really a zebra underneath. Maybe these people that are coming around you or circumstances, events that are coming around you are masked too. Trying to pretend somebody, that they're not. Anyway, let's get back to you. Am I clear on what my soul really wants? Your spirit knows the direction that you're supposed to go in. Your spirit knows where it originated from. God the Father, Jesus Christ the Son, the Holy Spirit, who is our counselor, our teacher. Your spirit man knows where they originated from. Okay? But does your soul agree with your spirit? See, a lot of people think soul is spirit. Oh, But what it is we have a spirit man who has a soul, which means mind, your will, and your emotions is your soul. That's what the enemy tries to come after. He tries to come after your mind. He tries to get you up in your emotions, and he tries to make you bend your will from the direction that you are going in. He tries to break your focus. A good example of that, guys, is, I told myself, I'm going to keep on going with his messages. I'm going to get more strong with that. And then what happened? I was like 3 days into it, and I get a phone call that somebody had passed. So that, and because of who passed and what went on, I got triggered, and it made me procrastinate on my goal, which was to be here more fluently. I can't tell you how many times I passed, my table and I went, nah. I was procrastinating because I had been triggered by that. It took me a while to come back. You know what I'm saying? The conflicts, the chaos. It took me a while to wrap my head around that, and I procrastinated and I wavered and I'm ugh. See, so I do it too. All right. What's going to help you with that? You're being asked to ground yourself, okay? You're being spending too much time in your head, and it's time to pay attention to your body and to the earth. Go outside and plant your feet on the ground. You know, go plant a flower outside. See, and it says we're asking you to spend more time in the present moment, to stop ruminating about the past or longing for the future. Your life is happening right now, and when you're not in the present for it, you will miss it and its beauty. That's the other thing about going in this direction, is that you have to take time out to ground yourself, to come into the present now, instead of all up in your imagination and with your dreams and your plans. You know, sometimes they can be all consuming, okay? Take out the shoulds and the limitations, guys. Get out of your head is what some of these cards are saying too. And pay attention to your heart's desire. If you knew it was impossible to fail, what would you do? Wherever you go, go with all your heart. Take one step, guys, in the direction of this, all right? Take one step. I wanted to get from the key. I wanted to get from the key here to see a little bit of clarification. What's Spirit's advice? You know, I think he's been saying, you know, don't be afraid of what you see in your mind's eye. And if it's been sticking with you guys, there's a reason. There's a reason. All right? I know for years and years I thought I was going to minister on stages and stuff like that, you know? And that's another thing. Don't be surprised as time goes on that the imagination, that the dream that you have, it could take on a different form. It could take on a different, maybe you thought you were going to be a veterinarian, you know, and then during your course you find that you gravitate more towards horses, and so you're going to be a veterinarian towards horses, an aquarian veterinarian, you know what I'm saying? So don't be surprised. It doesn't mean that it's not going to be in that area, but it could just take on a different form, is what I'm trying to tell you. All right. Holy Spirit, can you just give us a couple of, what do you want us to know in this, please? Thank you. All right. All right. Let's see what we got here. Oh my goodness. You've got Radiant Goddess. Acceptance. You are an amazing goddess, ready to fully understand how significant you are. Tap into your power by owning your beauty and potential, but not making any apologies for it. And that's what I was saying, is that I felt like some of you guys, what it's saying here is that you belong, all right? You are a child of God. You are a child of God. Don't let anyone else put you in their mold, how they want you to be. You stand up for who you truly are. But don't put yourself in a mold either, where you're pretending to be somebody you're not. I think that's what it's saying too, guys. And don't make any apologies for it, all right? Creativity. See, we talked about this. You're co-creating with the divine. One of the ways the divine wants to connect with you is through creative expression. It gets you out of your busy mind to feel, listen, and know how to flow with the energy. And see, that's what that other card was saying, was they wanted you to ground yourself. They want you to take your dreams, but also to learn how to stay in the present. Because when we're all up dreaming in our heads all the time, or always looking in the past, always looking in the future, we miss what's going on right now in front of our eyes. So while you're creating, ground yourself, whatever that is for you. You could take a walk outside, plant something. Getting yourself out of your busy mind. You could do an app that teaches you how to be still within your mind if you have a hard time with that, all right? You're being called to tap into your creative side, to reconnect and discover many talents. Be open to the process and let it flow without judging yourself. This creative project, this dream, this goal, this aspiration that you have right here, you might be a perfectionist on yourself. Let it go, let it flow, get out of your mind, okay? A lot of us, when we are creative, or if you're analytical, that is one of the hardest disciplines out of them all, is getting out of your head, okay? Enjoying the moment, enjoying the now. There is a situation that you're refusing to see clearly. Living in denial can create false scenarios. To see things that are not accurate. Have the courage and discernment to dig deep into the truth of the situation. Some of this chaos and conflict that you're going through, some of you guys need to ask that. Why? Why? Why are you going through that? Is it something that was out of your control? Is it something that it was, projected onto you by somebody else? Is it a cycle that keeps repeating itself? Why? Get yourself out of denial. Look at the truth of the situation. Okay? All right, guys. I just want to get one card from... These have already been shuffled. See? Watch this. Surrender the idea you can fix someone. It's time for a relationship to shift. It doesn't work to try to fix someone. Each person must be accountable for his or her own healing. I think that's what it was talking about, this denial. Somebody's trying to fix somebody. You know? Somebody's trying to fix you, maybe. Somebody's trying to fix somebody, and it's causing some of this chaos and confusion, and matter of fact, conflict. And that could be why this horse that kind of looks like a giraffe but is really a zebra, maybe that denial is starting to shed off, and you're starting to realize, I can't fix anybody. They have to choose to do that. Surrender fear. Let go of fearful stories you are telling yourself. Stay in the moment, focus on the situation, and celebrate every baby step. When we get too far in the future, guys, we don't stay in the now. Get too far out and start, our mind can start exaggerating, and then we can come up with ifs and buts and candies and nuts, and we could all get into, all right, fears of things that not only are not going to come about, but you're not even in that timing yet, so why borrow trouble, right? A positive thinker sees the invisible, feels the intangible, and achieves the impossible. And that's where you're headed. That is where you're headed, okay? I love you guys. Till next time.